In today's video, I'm going to give you a quick demo of our Unit 7 lab. In this lab, what we are doing is we are looking at a practical application of our searching and sorting algorithms. So first, what you're going to do, if we run the lab from start, is we are going to prompt the user to see which class period of the teacher they would like to check. So we have 5 sections of Java, so we have 5 sections here. And the user is going to enter an input 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, just like with previous labs, we want to make our entry to be error-proof, so that way if they enter a value that is not a proper integer or outside of the range, they are prompted. Okay, so now that we know we've got to have that under control, let's go ahead and pick a valid class period. So let's say I pick period 2. And from here, I then want to select from the choices below. And I have several choices I can do. I can sort by the student's name, so this will be last name, by their average score, search for a student, or quit my gradebook. And let's say I want to search by name. So I choose 1. And I can choose alphabetically A to Z or Z to A. Again, let's say I choose 1. And you'll see here, I have a nice printout of my gradebook. A couple things that I want you to notice here, everything lines up nice and neat. Now, you might have to get a little creative about how you do this, but we expect this data to line up in a tabular fashion like this, okay? So I don't want to see any jiggity-jaggedy number columns, all right? You'll notice that we see the teacher's name, the class period. Now, for the purposes of this assignment, I made all of the classes to be assigned to myself. Mr. Nichols made all of the classes assigned to himself. And when you do your code, you can make whoever teacher you would like. And you will notice that the program is displaying their names, their 3 test scores, and then their average score. And dang, it looks like Cardi B needs to study. We are organizing them alphabetically by their last name. And now if I were to go ahead and choose a different class period, let's say I chose class period 3, and I wanted to sort by score now, let's say I chose option 2, I can now sort from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. And let's say I wanted to go highest to lowest. Let's see who has the best score in this class period. And I can see, hey, what do you know? Frank Sinatra, he is killing it in the Java land. So way to go. So yeah, we can see that, yikes, some of these other people aren't doing so hot, but Frank, he's one to watch. So that's how our sorting algorithms work. Then we have our searching algorithm. So let's say we picked 8th period and we wanted to search for a student. Now, I don't quite remember all my rosters in this period. So let's just pick any portion of a student's last name. And let's just say I went with, I'm just going to pick SA because that's a pretty common string. And hey, what do you know? I found a student with that name, Jerome Salinger, and I have his test scores that we see here. And as you can see, these students do not get the Fremd-free 50. Yikes, looks like things weren't always as good as they are for you guys. And then when I'm ready to quit, I just pick a class and I can go ahead and quit the gradebook. I think that I'm going to make a quick little edit to say option 6, quit the gradebook, so that way the user doesn't have to pick a period to quit, but that's a minor detail. All right, so now that we've seen how the gradebook looks, let's talk about the different classes we are going to see in this gradebook program. So we will begin by having 3 quick classes, a person class, and then from that person class, a student and teacher class. And the assignment description explains which kind of variables that we need to have in there. Now, our teacher is going to have an array of gradebooks. And the reason why we have it set up this way is because each class has its own roster, so to speak, and that roster of students can hold all of their different grades. So what does one gradebook look like? Well, one gradebook is going to have a couple different variables. First of all, it'll have the period number, and it'll have an array list of students. And the reason why we have an array list is because the enrollment can change. One class period might have 20 students, another one might have 25. So these are at a bare minimum some of the variables that I'll have in there. Again, the assignment listing will detail other information we need to have. And this array of gradebooks is going to be a fixed size. And the reason why it's a fixed size is because all teachers have 5 periods. So essentially we are going to have period 1 would be in slot 0, and that would hold a gradebook. And period 2 would be in slot 1, and that would hold a gradebook, and so forth. So as you're setting this up, you want to keep on thinking about how a student, this is going to, if we were to go ahead and kind of list what this entails, this is going to entail the details, I didn't mean to make that rhyme, the details for one student. So it'll have their 3 scores, their average, their name, and so forth. A grade book is going to have a list of all of those students, and then a teacher is going to have an array of all of these grade books. So one of the challenges within this lab is really going to be, how do we access all this data? All right, remember, we need to keep our data private. So we're going to have to really think about how we're going to use access methods, how we'll use methods within a class, and where these methods need to belong. We're giving you a lot less structure in this lab because we really want you to think about that. You're going to need to do an implementation of the selection sort, insertion sort, and binary search. So we're going to require you to show that you can apply all of those. And when you're doing them, you're going to be doing them within an array list. So you're going to want to refresh on the array list methods. So if we recall some of those methods, we had, for example, get and set. We also had add. So those are 3 that we're going to really have to focus on. And then when we work within an array list, we want to find out how many elements are in there, we use size. So this is just a little bit of information to help you get started. We are going to walk through the lab write-up in class together, but I just wanted to put this together to give you a little heads up on what was coming. All right, good luck, and do not forget to put your name, teacher, and class period on all files, okay? All right, have a great day.